farts. Your goddamn farts.
I assume he's actually, he's in this channel, so he's recording.
I had a steak in front of me, I would fuck it.
Yeah, that movie's fucking great.
Sexual Tension Art House, the movie.
Yeah. That's basically, that's largely all that it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see that someone bought that mermaid?
Oh yeah,
figurine?
that's it. Yeah. From the auction, the A24 auction.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it went for, but I wanted it.
I saw very recently. Let's see.
It's probably way more than I could ever afford. I did want to buy some stuff from the witch, but
yeah, $110,000.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's crazy.
Fuck that.
Oh, you can actually buy the light too. Is this official? Are we doing the thing?
No, I mean we can declare a start time and then start it.
Okay, well.
Or we could just, now we're doing it. I don't care.
Yeah, we're just doing it. Why don't we just fucking start now?
All right, we're starting
everybody.
now.
Welcome.
Hey, it's a thing. Welcome to the thing. I am one of your hosts of this thing.
I am another one of your hosts.
I am also one of your hosts.
Wow.
Although I think, Dave, you're the official host for this one.
That's right. This one is me. I am not surprised by this, and I was prepared. God, now I have just mermaid vagina all over my screen here. There's a whole bunch of lighthouse stuff.
I'm sorry, what?
It's just the very large mermaid vagina in the lighthouse explained.
And may I just say, bless them for finally making a mermaid with a vagina where you get the best of both worlds. You no longer have to decide, well, the lady part is the bottom half, but the fish part is the top half, or vice versa. You get the best of both worlds now.
Yeah. The best of both worlds.
Thank you very much to Robert Eggers or whatever for
or as we like to call him, Reggers.
The Eggman.
The Eggman cometh.
Goo goo kajoob.
Yeah. That thanks Robert for that visual. For
so much of that movie is so odd to look at.
Yeah, it's weird. Why did I Google this? Oh God, what am I doing? Sorry.
See, now you're gonna make me Google mermaid vagina. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do it.
It's on my Google search history now. You know, the FBI guy who's in on this podcast right now is probably like, what the fuck are they doing?
Right. The dude assigned just to us.
His name is his name is Joseph. Joseph. Not Joe, not Joey, Joseph.
He's very particular about it.
Yes,
I'd like to think his name is Joseph T. Nelson.
He might be Mormon.
He might be.
That's why he insists on going by Joseph. That's the thing I imagine Mormons do.
Our Mormon FBI agent is named Joseph to honor his people.
Joseph has to suffer through our commentaries and our spicy hot takes on world affairs and casual bigotry.
Joseph and the amazing Technicolor security job.
That's right. It's just like eating a sad stack of Funyuns and listening to this.
Yep.
I pity the people who have to monitor the boringness of American dialogue.
I know, over and over.
Yeah, people are actually truly boring, and I don't think people know that.
I love the House of Cards. Do you remember that episode of House of Cards where they use that? It's basically a gigantic Freedom of Information Act supercomputer that taps in on all these hit words that Americans use, and there's this crazy guy who works at the office. He's just doing Tai Chi while this thing's printing out all the main hit words of America. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's this like wild scene where this dude, this big nerdy bald guy, is just in like an ugly brown suit, and he's like doing like karate poses while this giant computer behind him is like spying on the American public. It's like,
I feel like it was in the lead up to the nomination or whatever.
Yes.
Maybe it wasn't. Was
yeah,
it?
no, I think it
Oh
was.
yeah,
Yeah,
because it was part of it was
Frank
part of
was-
his campaign.
yeah, it's trying to figure out what words really snapped with Americans, so they just fucking use the Freedom of Information Act to do that.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, take that.
It's never been good for anything, so why not just let it keep being evil? Or no, not the Freedom of Information Act.
Or no,
That's-
yeah, no, the
that's fine.
the
Freedom
Patriot
from
Act.
Information Act.
Yeah, the Patriot Act.
Right. I was
Name
gonna
it
say,
something patriotic so people don't know that we're fucking spying on them.
dude,
Right.
if you want people to support something bad, either just call it patriotic without justification or make it
Right.
really, really boring so they don't care to research it.
Right, exactly.
So
Yeah.
you can either fly the flag or just like bore the hell out of people.
Yeah, the Feinstein-McCrowley Act, pursuant to subsection 183.
Right.
No one's ever gonna look that up because it sounds too boring. But what it says is that you're fucking spying on people indiscriminately.
Yeah, right.
If you put anything after the word subsuant to, no one cares.
America, we're fucking spying on people indiscriminately.
God, they really ought to tuck that in the corner of the flag.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, hi everybody.
Oh yeah. To the nice people. Hello.
Oh shit.
Yet another week or month or so of nothing bad at all is happening. And
Yeah, nothing bad. Everything is good. It's actually
really good.
the world totally hasn't fallen completely and totally apart since the last time we did this podcast.
It just keeps getting gnarlier, man.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not good.
It's actually kind of stupefying to me how it continues to get worse.
Yeah,
Like, You wouldn't think
it's-
much was worse than. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, you're good.
I was just saying, like you couldn't imagine things getting much worse than worldwide disease, and pandemic, and then also there might be a race war or not. We can't tell. It's just heating up.
We've ticked 2 of the 4 boxes for Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So, I mean, all we need now is famine and death.
Boy, I'm not sure we don't have death already. So now it's just famine.
Like, what the hell is the difference between pestilence and death? Like, obviously, pestilence and disease is going to beget death. Like, why are those 2 separate horsemen? I would
Yeah,
concatenate those into the same horseman.
God is very inefficient with his horsemen.
Yeah, I would concatenate those into the same horseman and make the 4th horseman, God, something like, I don't know,
The McRib.
the McRib. God, fucking, I don't know.
TikTok.
Yeah, make the 4th horseman something like the planet dying.
Oh, you mean like it is?
Just the planet
Yeah.
dying.
Exactly. Like make the 4th horseman I don't know, carbon emissions.
Yeah, that makes sense. God, that would make sense if you were an omniscient God who knew that in the future that would happen. But unfortunately, if you're just kind of wandering the Middle East, writing down whatever comes up to the top of your head, maybe you wouldn't think that far into the future.
But my lord, he asked upon the revelation, what are carbon emissions? Don't ask questions. Remember what happened to Job.
Do it, fight me. You won't do it. Do it.
Come at me, pussy.
Lo, I am God. Come at me, pussy.
God's a sin on affliction t-shirt.
Approacheth me with hostile intent, brethren.
I really like that idea of just like a very modern day version of the spiteful, angry, mean, jealous God of especially of the Old Testament, who's just like So sitting there with a Miller in hand, going, "Come on, pussy! You did touch me. You won't touch me." See what I say?
You think the Miller is bad? You should wait until he starts shooting fireball. Fucking
Yeah, right.
fucking putting Trap House on the jukebox.
Just right around 9 p.m. when he slips into Mr. Hyde mode, and then he's the really angry god.
Yeah.
God, actually, that makes. I don't know if it's ever occurred to me of a more reasonable explanation for the fickle and waffly nature of the Old Testament God than he just gets really drunk and then he's just mean.
Yeah, that's actually that's probably about as accurate as it could get.
I mean,
Kind
shit.
of.
If you created humankind and you had to watch them do the sorts of shit that they do, especially for your approval, wouldn't you drink heavily too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of it's a lot on the shoulders, isn't it? So religion,
Anywho.
that one.
Yeah. Take that, religious people.
Got
Again.
Shoot. Do we just want to talk about why we're fucked?
Yeah, we might as well. Sorry, guys, we're a little out of practice here.
Yeah, I'm a little. Yeah, it's gotta get this podcasting back. Wow.
Hey, bitty bitty, hey, bitty bow.
Just a little. Anyway,
we got reasons why we're fucked. Maybe
I definitely have one. We started to talk about it. I could definitely go first.
Yeah, you might as well start. It's your episode, homie. You're supposed to be guiding us.
Okay, so yesterday I learned of something that happened maybe 2 days prior to that. It is a sad day on which I report that the legendary Fenn's treasure, which I spent some time out in the Rocky Mountains area a couple years ago looking for, has been found. And it is no more. It's so Forrest Fenn, the guy who hid the treasure, confirmed that a treasure hunter, messaged him about it, sent him a picture, and that what he sent him was enough for him to confirm that the treasure is found. And he basically said, he's a little sad, but it was a good 10 years, and that's that.
Time to hide another one.
Right. Well, okay. So that's the thing. I'm not sad that someone found this treasure. I'm actually not. I'm very happy for someone for finding it. But it's an end of a great mystery. And actually, I talked to Joe Draft a bit today about this.
Yeah.
And he made a good point that I think articulated what I hadn't figured out how to say, which is there's nothing to replace it.
Yeah.
What are we going to do now? No one else hid millions of dollars of treasure in a box somewhere, with a decipherable solution. Like there's mysteries on the internet. There always will be, but there's nothing like this.
Yeah, where there was just a large sum of money stashed away.
You could still try to positively ID the Goatsy guy. That's a mystery. As far as I know, hasn't been solved yet.
I'll tell you what. If I see that wedding ring, I'll know it. I'll know it's him.
Yeah.
That ring and that finger are burned into my memory.
I can't find. You can't. It's so hard to find the Goatsy link now because it's just not on the surface web.
No, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, is it?
I don't know.
Somewhere.
Let's see.
Salvia Eric keeps posting it.
I know.
I'm just opening incognito tab here.
Yep, incognito. Look at this scrub.
I don't know, man. I immediately found Goatsy on Google Images.
Oh, did you?
Also, one where they replaced his anus with Trump's face, which is kind of nice.
Trump's face.
Oh, there's a lot of other really disturbing images of genitals, but yeah, that's Goatsy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there it is. There's that wedding ring.
It's just something about that is the detail that matters the most to me. The single incredibly profane act, and then you're just like, yeah, he's got like a wife and kids, probably.
Yeah. Hey, man, whatever he's into. Don't
Yeah.
judge. Don't kink shame
No,
Dave.
no, of course not. I'm just saying, it's extraordinary. I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm saying it's extraordinary.
And also, someone else had to take that picture, presumably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder. I mean, he might have had it on a one of those, like where you hit the button and then you run around and you join your family and you all wait for.
But I don't know. Maybe
he's like just sitting there holding his butt open while that blinking light is going. Like any minute now. Oh God, I should have set this to 3 seconds. This is going to take forever.
God.
But yeah, no, the treasure has been found. It's a little sad. Forrest, obviously told everyone this news. And the really disappointing thing that I hope is not true and that I hope changes is he's announced that the seeker did not want the location revealed.
Yeah.
And he always said he would honor the seeker's, wishes. So there's like a half decent chance we never find out where it was. And I can't tell whether that's like really terrible and like I need to know, or like the worst alternative is what if I find out and I was there,
right, and you missed it completely. Yeah. Why? So my question is, do you really want to know that, or?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, but I really think I do. Like,
I don't know, man. I don't think I would personally want to know.
The odds are very, very low that I was in the right location. It's just as a matter of math. So I think I'd take those odds. I want to know. I just want to know the general area. I just want some idea of like where it might have been. I don't know. Little side detail to this: people are already suing each other.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
So someone has already filed. There's a lawyer in Chicago who told the Santa Fe New Mexican, which is the newspaper in Forrest's hometown of Santa Fe, she plans to file a federal injunction because she claims she solved the puzzle, but her solution was stolen by someone who went on to find the chest.
Oh, please.
I know. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. There's no way. And also, if you're that dumb to put your solve down on paper at all, instead of just keep it in your head,
right,
you don't deserve it. You should have gone out in the woods sooner.
Right, exactly. You cunt.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's more than a few people like freaking out about this right now, but
yeah,
it's
oh well.
Really, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't get it, buddy, but
yeah, it's sad. It's just sad that it's over because like
fucking way she goes, boys.
I'd love to go back out there again, but there is this thing of like, not that it's not great to spend time in nature, but the chase is really extraordinary, and I don't know if I'll ever have another thing in my life that felt like that. So it's a little sad.
Well,
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so my why I'm fucked is I didn't get $2 million. Wah. Wah. What do you guys got?
Go ahead, Ben.
I'm trying to think of any reason why I'm fucked, but I might not be.
Yeah, I don't think I am either, actually.
It was my birthday this past weekend. It was a fucking awesome weekend.
Yeah, dude.
And thanks to you, Chris, I now have another bottle of Macallan 12.
Yeah.
That I can enjoy.
Did you crack it open yet?
Not yet. Not yet. I might want to enjoy a glass with you guys.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, man. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't feel especially fucked.
not personally, anyway.
Not personally. I mean, the world, that's a different story. But for me personally, not especially.
Well, that's good.
Sorry, it's not more interesting than
yeah,
that.
No, that's okay. Yeah, the thing is, I think I'm like anti-fucked. If that's
Stuff's
possible. Good? Yeah, I got a new job.
Yeah, right. That's a big deal.
Right.
Which I'm not gonna like tell any. I'm trying to keep it sort of like hush hush where I got it at, because it's not Like I haven't gone for the
Right.
for like the training yet.
Yeah.
So and that's still a couple weeks away, but it is like basically official that I was asked. So it'll become like official once I go through the training, which means I can get off unemployment and actually like go back out and work, which will be really nice. Yeah, Trisha and I were on. We had a small vacation planned, like a couple days out with some friends in Chicago, and rather than fucking cancel it, we just like bit the bullet and went out, and most everything is like shut down or just reopening out there right now, so we didn't really get to do all the stuff that we had planned. But it was still nice to go out and like see some friends and not be here for a little bit.
Yeah, just be anywhere else is like a really nice thing right now, right?
Right, exactly. So yeah, it was good. I'm actually not fucked at all. I've been having a good past month or so. So
yeah, you did some eating meat and shooting
tons of eating and shooting, and drinking. America.
Yeah, there's like not too many ways better to spend some time than eating and shooting.
Eating and shooting.
Here's what I'm eating.
And here's what I'm shooting.
Yeah. So I forget where so I know where in the area are they? They're not like in the city, right? They're like
no, they're in oh fuck, hold on, I'll see where fuck. They're in Shorewood.
Okay. So
yeah.
is that now I have to Google it because I'm compulsive.
They're about 40 minutes or so outside of the city.
Okay.
They're like just barely in the Chicago area, but
okay. So they're to the southwest, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit inwards.
That's funny.
Old-fashioned doxing.
I drove through there, funny enough, on my trip to Colorado that we're talking about.
Did you?
Yeah, past it, more or less, right past it.
Oh shit!
I actually stayed in neighboring Joliet.
Oh, okay, yeah, we were through there a couple times.
Yeah. I stayed at a very disturbing hotel.
oh, good.
Yeah, it was. I think I might have mentioned it to you guys before once, but like we rolled in at like I had picked Joe up at the airport at like crazy early in the morning, so it's like maybe like 1 o'clock, and I'm like getting tired. I'm like, listen, we got to stop and like sleep or something, right? So we check in at this hotel, and like it's odd, and there's this cruiser out front that I don't know what it's doing there, and then I go in and I ask, can I check in early? He ends up he billed me twice for the like 8 hours that we stayed there, so I had to pay 2 nights worth, and then. And this guy, as I'm walking in the hotel room, there's just this dude standing in the hallway just looking at me. And I'm like, this guy's going to kill me. I'm going to die here. But we didn't. It was fine. But yeah, I had an unpleasant image of Joliet. Something about it I did not like. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. It was good to get out and, see the sights, albeit from the car, but it was good. It was I'm not fucked at all. Actually, everything's been really good. As it turns out, getting fired is one of the best things that could have happened to me.
Yeah, seriously,
it's been really, really nice. I've spent a lot of time with my wife, which we haven't since the honeymoon. We haven't really had time to like sit down and enjoy being married. It's because I had such an off schedule where I was at, and this actually gave me a good opportunity, and I feel better. I feel healthier. Certainly happier. So it's like the opposite of being fucked.
Work was like regularly very bad for you. Like,
it was terrible. I hated it.
And like more or less every time you mentioned work, it was like, well, they got the gun to my head.
Yeah, right.
And I'm just waiting for when they pull the trigger, and then they fucking did.
And then they did it, yeah.
It was just like a brutal, like a protracted sort of like slow battle of inches to push you out of there.
Sure. And I knew it was coming. Obviously.
Right.
It was definitely something that's been coming for a long time. And you know what? I was pissed, but I'm not pissed. It's actually the best thing that's happened to me in the last, like of course, with the exception of like getting married, it's like the second best thing that's happened to me in the last year. So
yeah,
kind of can't beat that.
Well, I'm happy for you anyway. I mean, like, it just so happened that it's like being fired didn't end up meaning that you were like completely like broke with the COVID help and all that. Like, it wasn't like impossible, right?
Right. Yeah, no, and I was worried about that because it happened like right as that all this stuff happened.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, I didn't think I was actually going to get it, but when I actually did, made everything much better. Certainly took a weight off.
Man, you're gonna miss being unemployed.
Honestly, you know what? That's the thing, because the thing is, I had other jobs like that I could have worked, and it was just, dude, it just was not financially beneficial for me to me to get off of unemployment.
Well, yeah, like who would prefer to take a job where they're worse off than if they don't take that job?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. It's it's of course, like again, this all happened at just the right time where that could happen.
Right, exactly. So thankfully, I got everything I needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, have we already burned through the first part of the show?
Yes, we have. Why is this the?
It just seems. I guess it's been 23 minutes, so that's not like nothing.
No, that's probably good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shit then. Why don't we do ourselves a favor, take a break? I gotta have a whiz.
Yeah, same.
And then I have a would you rather for you boys for the first time in what feels like forever.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's not very good. You're not gonna like it.
It's never
the judge of that.
I mean, it's never very good, Dave.
I don't think it's ever been good, but at least there was that one time Louis Anderson shit an egg.
That's true. I forgot about that.
That was great. Oh, also hot dog fingers.
Woo!
Or remember, would you rather have a talking gremlin for a penis or be a gremlin's talking penis?
I remember that. What about French Stewart? Just
oh yeah, he just like
in the car
you around and he just like judges your driving with that squinty face. All right. Well, we got
French Stewart's up to these days.
I don't know. Probably squinting. He's probably just staring into the sun every day, being like, "Look at that."
Stupid.
Yeah. So we got another one for the books coming up for sure. Let's take a break. We'll be back in a minute with Would You Rather and then the main thing.
Sounds good.
Cool.
All right. See you in a bit.
Bye. Welcome to the Three Dude Podcast. Hey, yeah.
You can find us at 3dudecast.com. If you're wondering whether that's spelled with the numeral 3 or the word 3, the answer is yes.
We're so proud of ourselves.
We're so clever. We're such clever boys.
Wow. We've switched hosting to Podbean. You can still find us on iTunes and Google Play. Mm-hmm. So give us a like.
Yeah, give us a like. Give us a listen. Give us a review somewhere.
Give us a sandwich.
Give us a high five.
Give us sponsorships.
Please give us a hug.
Give us that money.
Now we're back. Hi.
Oh, hey, whoa. Who's around me?
Who's around me?
Who's around me right now?
Personal space.
I still have to see the final episode of this season of Rick and Morty. But I'm afraid my IQ may not be high enough.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, you have to. You have to so on and so forth and such and whatever.
Yeah, that's a thing. I'm behind on that. I'm behind on everything.
So anyway,
dead air. Dave didn't go anywhere with that.
Nope, didn't go anywhere with that. Yeah, we're back.
We're back.
Why don't we just move right along? Because I'm like dead on filler. Would you guys like to play Would You Rather?
Hey, yeah, I'm not kind of. I'm really.
Yeah, let's do it.
No, fuck you. Yeah, I got one for you. This I don't know. I think I'm just mentally tired. I'm not sure if I completely sign on to this one, but it was I don't know. I'm out of practice. So here we go. All right. Would you rather? Option number 1. You have to carry around a little basket of eggs everywhere you go at all times. If people ask about it, you have to stop what you're doing and kiss every egg individually. Or every sandwich you eat for the rest of your life is cut like all fucked up. It's in like weird angles and uneven pieces. Like some are really small and some are big, and the fillings spill out, and sometimes it's just kind of smashed on one side. Every sandwich forever.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm attempting to, as you say, break your autism with this one.
Okay, so specifically, word for word, me the first one again.
Okay. Specifically, you have to carry around a little basket of eggs everywhere you go at all times. If people ask about it, you have to stop what you're doing and kiss each one individually. You can't answer them. You just have to hold it lovingly and just kiss every little egg.
How many eggs are in the basket?
9.
Oh, 9. That's a weird number, too.
It is a weird number.
I have to be real.
Yeah.
Going with the eggs.
Going with the eggs. All right. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. What's give me a little bit of your reasoning here. I think I kind of get it, but tell me.
It's bad enough biting into a burrito and getting a mouthful of sour cream. If my sandwich is cut up all fucked up and weird, and I bite into a sandwich and I get like nothing but lettuce, like fuck that. I want my sandwich to be cut the right way and to taste the way it should. And so I don't know. I could tolerate people asking about it, but I feel not a lot of people would ask about it except for people I'm close with. A stranger wouldn't ask.
It's like a wicker basket. Did I specify? It's like a wicker basket, and it's got like a little sort of like a flannelly sheet in it, and all the little eggs are piled up in the middle, and it just looks cute and old-timey. You don't think no one's going to ask about your basket of eggs?
I don't think most strangers would. I think he's right. If
Eric Andre has taught me anything, it's that most people just want to mind their own business whenever they see something unusual.
That's a good point. Most people, I think you're right. Most people are not going to say shit. They're going to look and go,
yeah,
wow.
Most people, but I could tolerate the occasional,
Yeah, well, like basically that one friendly person that you already wouldn't want to talk to anyway is asking you about your little basket. You're like, okay, once in a couple of days or so or whatever, I could deal with this.
I think it would be really funny to have to explain it.
Well, it would be, but you can't. You're not allowed.
Well, right, but I mean, like, I think it would be really funny to, I don't know, to be that guy and like make people uncomfortable.
Yeah, right.
I think it would. I don't know how long that would be funny, but I think I would get a kick out of that.
You got to think like kissing 9 eggs takes maybe about 7 seconds.
Right.
It's not like a long process. It's like over and out. Kissed all the eggs. I'm on my way. That's it.
Right.
So it's kind of it's a brief problem for sure.
I think I'm with Ben. I think I gotta go with carrying around the basket of eggs and keeping my sandwich intact.
Yeah.
Because we can argue and have argued on this show for a long time over what constitutes as a sandwich. And if I'm wrong in any of my opinions of a sandwich, then I'm fucked.
Well,
hot dogs, burritos, all wraps, all sorts of shit.
Well, let's get into it. So you get a hot dog.
Oh, please, let's not.
and they cut that hot dog once lengthwise and then once acrosswise. So you have not a bun, but like 4 pieces of bread with 4 planks of hot dog.
Yeah, let's definitely I'm gonna put a final answer on that. I'm definitely going with the basket of eggs. I think
Really?
I'd rather have to deal with that torture than have to go through my whole life not being able to eat a sandwich the way God intended.
Yeah.
The way God intended a sandwich, neatly cut, crust on, distributed perfectly.
Anything else is heresy.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm with you too.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, right? Do we have a clean sweep here? Like, it makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I hate being embarrassed as much as or more than the next person, but I gotta have a sandwich I can actually eat.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the right answer.
Yeah. I mean, like, take, for example, the burrito, which is just a cylindrical sandwich.
Yeah, of course, naturally.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine how many ways you can cut that wrong. Little pinwheels, but it's like a taco, or like a burrito, so everything spills out. Just little boats.
Yeah, that would be horrible. I mean, like, I can't even imagine. Like,
Right.
if we're going by the full broad definition of a sandwich, that's like bratwurst. That's
Yeah.
burritos, wraps,
Right.
quesadillas. It's like all sorts of weird shit that I'm not willing to get into.
Imagine a quesadilla just cut 4 ways across its shortest dimension, so that you just have tortilla
Strips, like tortilla fingers.
Yeah, like a big half moon tortilla, then the fillings, then another half moon tortilla.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, me too.
Be honest with you.
Yeah. No, I kind of, as I was writing this, I knew I was setting a trap. This is the worst thing ever. I knew that no one would want this.
Yeah, it's terrible. But I think we're all correct here. I think we've all like hit the nose on the head. I think it's better to be embarrassed than to not enjoy your food.
A lifetime without sandwiches.
Yeah.
That could be a play. That could be a full 3-act tragedy.
It's a fucking Philip K. Dick novel right there. Just a post-apocalyptic dystopian hellscape with no sandwiches.
I have no bun and I must sandwich. Yeah, no, it's a horrible thought to me too. I was picturing it of just imagine your burger arrives and it's cut into a square and some triangles. How'd you even do this? This is a very dreadful thought. We crave symmetry in our sandwiches. So I guess that's it.
Yeah,
what a mortal hand or eye could frame my tasty symmetry.
We are fucking out of practice, guys.
I know this podcast is just kind of feeling like it's just flying away.
Yeah. Well, come on, host, drive us along here.
Save us with the topic.
Let's do it.
Chugga, woo woo. Okay, so I actually think I have a decent topic, and I'm fairly certain we've never talked about this one. We might have come around to it by way of talking about other things. But I was thinking as an antidote to how terrible the world feels right now, because I didn't really want to spend much time talking about that. I mean, it's not that it isn't important to talk about, and maybe we will kind of touch on it along the way, but it's just this show exists as the best day of our week if it goes right. So I thought maybe an antidote to all this misery. The world needs heroes.
Yes.
Who are your heroes?
Oh, yeah.
Who are the people that you have looked up to throughout your life? Maybe you lived up to something that they demonstrated to you and you're proud of it, or maybe you still aspire to be like that person who made you want to, pick up a skill, learn something, do something, be a certain kind of person. I just thought it'd be good to talk about aspirations, and like, what is it that, has, inspired us to be, better than ourselves in the past? Who do we look up to now, in the past, whatever?
President Ronald Reagan.
Ronald fucking I'm saluting the flag. Where's the nearest flag?
Dun, 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 he did not have dementia. Dun, dun, dun. No.
Ronald, who are you, Reagan?
Let's be real. That guy was just a fucking wacko for the last couple of years, right? Like he's just.
I'm not convinced he wasn't always kind of a wacko.
Yeah, just Nancy Reagan ran the country. Let's be real.
God, that is just downright sad.
Yeah, sorry. Dark thoughts. Ooh, dark thoughts with.
No,
I don't. You know what? That's a tough one because I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like they also don't have to be people but like,
yeah, for sure.
I think that I think all of us have aspired to be some things that we are, some things that we aren't, some things we might never be, honestly. But
yeah,
like when it comes to teachers or people in your family, the people you look up to, I just think it'd be nice to talk about, that good part of the human spirit that wants to be something great,
Yeah. I mean, like I'll start out on a sappy note. I think pretty much up until very recently, like once I got older and felt comfortable being who I am and being a grown up, I looked up to, like in college in particular, I looked up to a lot of my friends, you guys included.
Yeah, I feel that too.
Like I felt like I tried very hard to surround myself with really good, smart people who also, incidentally like to have fun and were smart and quick-witted and funny.
I'd like to meet these people.
Yeah, God, they sound great.
And then I got to know everybody. No, but seriously, I did. I really genuinely looked up to a lot of my friends because I was always kind of like the baby.
Yeah,
we little baby. I was always like the baby of the group. So
you never came off the baby. You never seemed like you were out of step with anyone.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I tried very hard to stay in step with everyone. I wanted everyone to like me.
Well, like think back to those days. I have memories of both, like you and I in particular, like wearing like t-shirts with suit jackets and trying to seem like a little older and a little philosophical. And like we were all trying to be something that we weren't, or maybe wouldn't be, but we were trying to be like legit on some level, right?
Actually, we talked about that a little bit with when Trish and I went to Chicago. We went to go visit our friends Krista and Ethan.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. Krista was we were trying to stimulate conversation, and she asked okay, so what's one thing you would go back and tell yourself in the past? Like if you were 15 years old, what would you tell yourself?
Yeah.
And one of the things was you don't fucking work so hard. Stop worrying so much about what everybody thinks of you. Go out and stop stressing about how you look, and fucking this is your time to enjoy that, like
everyone thinks you're fine. You don't have to try so hard to be liked.
Right. Enjoy your body while you have it. Enjoy your, your youth while you have it. And stop trying so goddamn hard.
Yeah. But isn't that kind of like what it is to be that age no matter what? Because you don't know that you're eventually going to settle into something and it's probably going to be fine. You just struggle. It's the struggle.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's the age too where you really start recognizing higher orders of social structure, even just among friends and cliques and whatever. You start recognizing those things and you start really desiring more to belong somewhere.
Yeah. And it's obviously you don't know what you don't know at that age.
Right.
Yeah.
But also I think going into college is further complicated because you just spent the last however many years trying to find a place, and maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but like the whole board resets, and that can be either very positive or it can be like very alienating because you're all of a sudden, like transplanted into having to do that again.
Yeah.
And it could go better, it could go worse. It's just like a very volatile time.
Yeah.
So you try stuff out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I'm really glad in retrospect that I fucking just didn't. In retrospect, that I eventually grew out of like thinking high school was important. I know there's people that never stopped believing that, and there are some who like really genuinely did enjoy high school and the people that they knew.
I don't want to be friends with them, but
yeah. I mean, my best times were certainly not in high school. It wasn't all bad, but
yeah,
I can't imagine hanging on high school because it's like it's the times you have in college are defined by a certain kind of like a developing maturity and a focus on different things, and I kind of feel like what defines
alcohol.
Oh yeah.
But like a great high school experience seems to me on balance to be like less, I don't know, maybe it's just my perspective, but it seems like it's less to get excited about.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because you're like I don't know, maybe I can't defend that opinion, but I feel like most of what constituted great times in high school for me were just, I don't know, video games, and that was it. But like in college, it was relationships and deeper ones, and like being kind of carried by like some of the ideas that you're being bathed in as you're like taking different classes, thinking about different things. I don't know. I just think it's a slightly higher order experience as you get older, and that's not just college. That's just like all life outside of high school.
Yeah,
life in high school is militaristic, and like school in general is designed to like get you ready to be an obedient member of the workforce. So it's not like it's just it's like the fucking jungle. You know what I mean? Like they just throw you out there and have do your thing. And I think like for me. For my high school experience was I think the as deep as that got, and I had some friends.
Yeah.
I had a lot of friends actually, but as deep as that relationship got, was I liked to smoke weed. Like in the later stages, like by the time I was a junior in high school, that's what it was like, I like to get stoned, and these guys also like to get stoned, and we're all funny. Like the end.
I sort of feel like
a great equalizer.
It sure is.
Well, like I think the friends that I still have from high school are like among the strongest friends that I will have.
Yeah.
But I think that also so many of them like faded away, maybe like really quickly. And I think that's just kind of an indicator of like how hard it is to form like genuinely deep relationships when you're young and your brain is still forming.
It's hard.
And you're like, it's like trench warfare, kind of like you're all just in this thing together trying to like wear it out, like
work your way through it.
Yeah.
I remember my parents telling me years ago when I was very young, we were having conversations about, I was like talking about, my friends are going to be my friends forever. And, Dad was like trying to gently explain to me when I was younger that like, that's really not how the world works. Like, he said something like, it's just not. And I was like getting mad at him, like, because I didn't understand. And he's like, he said, look, dude, I don't have any of my friends from high school. I don't even know those people anymore. And my mom walked in the room, and she's like, he said, Pam, did you have any of your friends from high school? And she was like, yeah, no. What I mean? So it's just like, and I remember like I went up to my room and I was like genuinely pissed off. I was like angry at him. And then, naturally all these years later, like, I don't really have any friends left from high school.
You could
Like,
probably count the ones you have on a hand.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's just people, you know what I mean? And it's basically all on Facebook. It's like I have a couple people I knew in high school. I have them on Facebook, but I don't like see them.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the time, like immediately after that, I went through this thing where like I lost my entire group of high school friends with like one breakup. And then all the friends that I made after that are just you guys. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the people that I keep around in my life, the people that I choose to have around. Well, who's around me now? Sorry.
Well, no, I think that's true. I don't know. It's your idea of like who's going to be in your life forever gets narrower as you watch it all happen. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm desperately hopeful that what I have now, I will have the rest of my life. You guys and the others that like, we spend a lot of time with. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that I never have to lose this.
Yeah.
And I think
Too
a lot of
hard.
people, I think a lot of people end up with not a lot of. I mean, how old do you think your parents were when they had that conversation?
With me?
Yeah.
So I would have been like 5th grade.
Okay.
So it was like 10, 11. That would have been 20 years ago. My parents would have been like 50 and 40 respectively.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing. If we can manage to stick this out for just like another like 10-ish years, we will have beaten the average record or whatever.
Right. We're there. But yeah, I genuinely looked up to my friends because a lot of, not just because you guys were older, but you were smarter than me, or at least I thought so.
You've said that before, but like, man, I think we are all equally stupid.
Yeah, you know what? I think you might be right. I think the
veneer wore off.
I think we're all smart. I think we're just dumb.
Yeah.
You could be smart and dumb at the same time.
Yeah, you could be clever and not very intelligent.
Yes.
At the same, I don't know, maybe that's not the way to put it. Not very knowledgeable.
I was gonna say, well, I don't even know. That doesn't count for Ben because Ben is actually genuinely intelligent.
Yeah.
Oh, I am not.
Well, you at least got the 10% edge.
Yeah.
I mean, no one here is a genius, but you're
certainly more of a genius than we are.
You have the 10% edge at least.
The top 10%.
The top 10% of 1%. Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. I proposed this topic, but I acknowledge also for me it's kind of hard to reflect on like I feel like I've had phases of my life where things were more important to me, and during those times there was always someone that embodied what that was so important to me and that I aspired to be more like. And I think a lot of them were authors too.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, let's say maybe like early college, when I was going through my angry young atheist phase.
Oh yeah.
And making sure everybody knew how very atheist I was.
Yep.
I mean, Christopher Hitchens was the go-to.
Oh yeah.
And there was I remember really, and I think it's also because regardless of what you think about Christopher Hitchens, there are traits in him that I never possessed and desperately wanted to possess. And one of those is being willing to not be nice when it comes to what's true or isn't.
Yeah. That's something that it takes a long time, I think, to master, at least with people that you don't know all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like you kind of, I mean, most of us are socialized to want to be get along, be nice, make friends, don't rock the boat too much unless it's really, really important.
Yeah.
Like now, I don't know if I would still say I admire a lot of his writing and his rhetoric, and I do think he's on the right side of a lot of things. But also, I think he maybe never grew up and was just kind of a kind of a dickish baby too.
Sure.
And I think it's like your ideas of who your heroes are directly tied to something aspirational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you change, they change.
So it's okay. You're just saying that you hate everybody who's a theist, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that has never changed and never will change.
Your hero is an authoritarian man baby who
my heroes include I don't know, the Chinese government for the ongoing crackdown of the Uyghur belief. Probably Stalin. I don't know.
Benito Mussolini,
No,
the Boston Strangler,
Pol Pot. Take that one back.
I remember
Kaczynski.
I remember one time we were playing. It might have even been the very first time we played Survive the Internet, and it was that one where you have to write an endorsement of a person, and the prompt one of you guys got, I think it was Chris, was like something like always willing to lend an ear to my problems, always willing to help. And what you put was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yep.
Sounds like something that one of us would write. But yeah, no, I don't know. I guess the point I'm making is just that I'm like very aware of the fact that like the kind of stuff that felt noble to me when I was angry and younger and I don't know, like juiced up on hormones and just trying to seem cool and smart and get laid. All of that has kind of it's different. Like the kind of person you are changes with your aspirations and your and I don't know. I would never quite look up to people quite like Christopher Hitchens in the same way that I used to when I was younger. Which is not to say I don't necessarily agree with what I read and what he what his like core belief system is, but I don't like the approach anymore.
Yeah, it's
same. I feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same way about Richard Dawkins. I think he's kind of a dick.
Yeah. Dawkins keeps I don't know. He's complicated, but I kind of feel like he's a shit stirrer and he knows it. And
absolutely.
For that reason, I just can't quite get on board with him either. Even though, he's an eminent biologist, right? Like he is a very knowledgeable guy, and he is not to be discredited. Except his tact is just wrong for me.
Right.
Yeah. I think a lot of it's very difficult, whether it be just by like the way that your atheists are painted, or if it's just the fact that there's so many of them that are fucking man babies who like aggressively argue their point.
Who were the four horsemen? You remember there was the like Dawkins was one of them. Hitchens, no, maybe Dawkins wasn't. Yeah, I think maybe he was. It was like Dawkins, Hitchens, the brain surgeon whose name is not coming to mind, and the tall fat one with a beard.
Yeah.
And those guys, largely, that was their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just to be, pricks to.
I think once I found out for the first time about James Randi and how his distaste for like pseudo mysticism and all of this stuff, essentially distaste for charlatanry. Like it was the practical sort of attitude that I liked, but it had a distinct purpose behind it as well.
Yeah, James Randi is a real hero.
Mhm.
Randy.
Yeah, like we could talk all day about whether or not God exists, but like using those same arguments against charlatanry, I can get behind any day of the week, and
Yeah.
I will root so hard for like a fake psychic to be exposed on stage, or
Do you remember when James Randi famously he basically debunked a cold read happening in a mega church where the pastor on stage is going around saying, I think someone over here needs whatever this or that, and people are all amazed. He's like, he's essentially divining people's problems and stuff. But James Randi, knowing that the world is the world, basically scanned the local shortwave radio and found his wife was delivering details to him in an earpiece in plain sight.
I remember that.
Yeah, I mean,
well, because they filled out prayer cards beforehand, and she was like reading them off to him, right?
Correct. Yes. So she knew exactly who the people were, what their problems were, and then were able to give them to him over the radio.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what faith you profess. Charlatanry is just I don't feel bad for you at all if you get exposed for it.
Yeah, right. I mean, dishonesty is fundamentally unvirtuous almost all of the time. Which right there, that's a speaking of just heroes, or like I guess more broadly about like values. I mean, I kind of feel like that's a thing that has become increasingly important to me, is like integrity, honesty, and I guess kindness as as a 3-part bundle,
Yeah.
I would say there are times where it's okay to be dishonest, but certainly not if you're doing it for financial gain.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, honesty is virtuous.
Or if you're trying to get laid.
Don't lie to get laid. Yeah, that's another thing that you kind of, I think, grow up out of. It's another part of like growing up is not lying to or not like trying to like
exaggerate
yourself for you know what I mean. Yeah, too much work.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Lies compound, and then all of a sudden you have to justify why you're no longer an Olympic weightlifter and why you don't show up at any registers or anything.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. There are definitely times where it is not only okay but probably good to lie. But I think the reasons are pragmatic ones. Like are you lying for self-interest, or are you lying to actually create an objectively greater good because the truth is either irrelevant or damaging, and maybe there's a calculus for that. I don't know. That's like some complicated ethics shit. But like by and large, I find it important, more and more important, to like, I appreciate people who are honest to their own detriment or embarrassment way more as they get older.
Absolutely. I like, I don't know. The older I get and the more the world, seems to be kind of changing out of traditional sorts of things, the more I respect the people who, even back when it was unpopular, just, said and did the things that were morally right, whether or not, regardless of what, was going on around them. Like, like Bernie Sanders in the 70s going to, pride events.
Yeah.
And,
he was a there's that famous picture of him getting arrested in the civil rights movement, right? As like being dragged off by cops.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, just doing it because it's right, not because it's popular.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fuck. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry. I feel like I'm talking way too much this episode.
That's all right.
No, I talk way too much every episode, so
it's dead air. So we're talking about our heroes.
Yeah.
I've talked a lot about my parents on this show, how my my mom is very smart, very patient. My dad, was never afraid to point up when I was wrong about something.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've ever talked about Mr. Kerensky, my 7th grade social studies teacher.
You have, as a matter of fact.
But I don't remember, so tell it all over.
Yeah.
I was sure I had. He was a pretty big influence in my life. He's my 7th grade social studies teacher. He was he's still around. A Desert Storm veteran. He was a sergeant in the army for the first Gulf War. And so as a result, he was one of those teachers that didn't take any bullshit, but he never like came across as that. He was never a hard ass or anything, unless the situation called for it. Kid in our class grabbed a girl's butt as she was going up to turn a paper, and he delayed the class for like a solid 15 minutes to take this dude out into the hallway and fucking verbally tear him a new asshole.
Yeah.
Like, God, that's very, very unacceptable. And we were raised in a time where I feel like there was a blur where like you might get away with that shit.
Right.
Yeah. The no sometimes means yes, which it does not mean that.
Yeah. We were not raised in the best possible, most aware time period. So it's good that dude was ahead of it.
Yeah. Oh, he was great. There was one time where well, I think I told you the first time I saw A Few Good Men was in his class. He showed it because we were learning about how courtrooms do things, and so he showed us that movie to demonstrate, like how objections work and courtroom proceedings. But one of the big things was like, I don't know, like I was in a situation in middle school where not a lot of teachers like really kind of got me,
Yeah.
It wasn't until like late high school and into college that I was offered, some accommodations for, being on the spectrum and everything. I didn't have to use them in college, but they were there. They were always there.
Yeah, they were bad at this stuff back then, right? I mean, like in
the 90s, yeah, man.
Yeah, they were very bad at this, and they did not understand it, and I don't feel like there was the system in place to be like, hey, maybe this kid needs a little more help. Like,
right. I mean, yeah, and this was back in the days when, even TV and movies could still get away with using the R word as an insult.
Yeah.
You can't do that these days, obviously.
Sure.
It seems weird to think about that was like 20 years ago, but
yeah,
that was the way it was. But so what he did was he came up to me after class one day. He said, look, our next unit is going to be on Japan, and if you could write me an outline, because we had to write outlines for our own studying purposes. If you can write me an outline that's at least 6 pages, I'll let you present it for the lesson on Japan. And so I wrote one that was 8.
Oh, nice.
I bet that was awesome too.
He fucking let me run down my entire outline, teach the class about Japan, and it was great.
That's really cool.
That script was eventually used for Bill Wurtz's The Entire History of Japan.
How about Sunrise Land?
That's amazing.
But yeah, like he really got me. And then like years later, when it was like my 5th year in college, because I took 6 years to complete a 4-year degree, obviously.
So I did the same thing. I think it was 5.5.
Yeah. It was like my 5th year in college. I was out in Canfield getting Dairy Queen, and he recognized me. I'm like, oh, dude. Like, of course I recognized him, and he's got a very unforgettable face. But I was really happy that he recognized me. Like, was one of those teachers that really actually, stuck up for me when in situations where I would have otherwise maybe been suspended or
Yeah.
because he paid attention. He saw the times where I was outnumbered as far as me versus other kids. Uh, yeah, and really just stuck up for me and tried to get me.
Yeah.
I know you said he didn't act like a hard ass, but I just realized this whole time I'm picturing him in his like fatigues as if he was like actually like active duty for some reason.
Oh no, he always dressed like he was active duty on the golf course, man. Tasteful khakis and polos all day, but like you could tell he was built like a sergeant,
Yeah.
Like a really nice guy that can snap your neck with one hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nicest guy you'll ever meet, and one of those teachers that really, really genuinely believes in the mission of his job.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like we all had probably at least 40 teachers, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many of them do you really, in your head, the ones that stand out that really, really believed in what they were doing? It's not that there's none of them, but it's just like there's a few that stand out.
There were a few. I can think of a few. I can think of just as many that were just dicks.
Horrible. I can think of way more that were dicks. I had 4 that come to mind, I think, that were like
good,
really good. Yeah.
My first grade social studies teacher, my first grade gym teacher, first grade, called me stupid to my face.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
My gym teacher in kindergarten called me a little asshole. So,
but in fairness, you were presenting your asshole to him.
I was, but which a lot of kids did because he was a pedophile.
Oh my god!
No, I didn't say his name, but that dude's a kitty diddler. Let's be real.
Are you talking about the one that I know you're talking about?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, all right.
Fuck that guy.
We've already talked about this on the podcast before, and it was very uncomfortable.
I don't remember his name, but I remember the man. On a less sappy note, Patrick Stewart is also a personal hero of mine.
He's like a great dude off screen, as far as I can tell.
Oh, he's wonderful.
And obviously, by virtue of playing Captain Picard, he's like tied inexorably to this image of human goodness.
Yeah, well, that and the fact that he's just as much of a Renaissance man in real life as he is playing Picard in Star Trek. Since quarantine started in the UK, and he might even still be doing it now. He was reading a Shakespeare sonnet every day from his home.
Oh.
Like how cool, how fucking classy and educated of a guy. And also he does so much good work for women's shelters in the UK, for PTSD awareness, because he sadly grew up in a household where abuse was common.
Yeah, abuse and alcoholism, right?
Yeah, his father was a vet with PTSD, and so he raises awareness both for domestic abuse, but also for PTSD and the sorts of terrible things that can happen when it's unrecognized and untreated.
He's such a good guy. Wouldn't you just like to, lay him down and give him a nice oily massage?
I mean, if I had the choice, I'd pick Jonathan Frakes, but
I mean, I didn't say I would, but maybe.
or LeVar Burton.
Oh, well, now you're really raising the ante here.
Yeah, give LeVar Burton a nice oily massage, man.
I mean, I'm not saying I would do it, but
you would do it.
I mean, I've thought what it might be like to, gently caress his bald head.
Well, LeVar Burton, though, also a great choice for personal hero, because I mean, his commitment to education and especially education of Black youth in America.
Yeah.
And also, of course, recently now he's just been going the fuck off on Twitter.
Oh, really?
For Black Lives Matter and yeah.
I was gonna say for good things, surely.
For good things,
Yeah.
obviously. But he is up in arms along with the rest of the country about all of this.
Yeah, dude.
And
I mean, there are heroes that have emerged in this way. Like,
dude is Kunta Kinte. I mean, how can you not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't like star in fucking Roots and then be like, a lot of black stuff happening in America. I don't really
disagree
care.
with how they're protesting.
I guess I should probably take a sideline here at this critical time.
Yeah, no, LeVar Burton's a great dude as well.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people who have been like surprisingly vocal and honest during all this craziness, and I don't want to talk about it that much, but just like I have been highly
Jim
surprised.
Carrey is a big one.
Well, Jim Carrey like basically never shuts up about our pig head president. He never stops.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah,
painted
I
it
love
like
it.
20
I love
times. Yeah, it's fun, but like I'm thinking more like people that like like fucking like Jim Mattis, right?
Yeah, right.
Who-
I love Mad Dog Mattis.
The thing is, so does fucking America, dude.
Yeah.
America really likes Mad Dog Mattis, and
Yeah.
it took a little bit of time and distance, but like he is among a handful of people who are taking the sort of whatever the personal hit is to actually voice what I think a lot of people know in their guts, which is like, dude, the house is on fire and someone's holding the match.
Yeah.
Not to get too serious, but just like it's impressive to me. I mean, Colin Powell all but called out all of Congress the other day.
Right.
He said he's not going to vote for our president in the future. Like a lifelong Republican.
What's this our shit?
Well, on paper, someone lives in that house, and so practically speaking,
and ostensibly holds the title. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a lot of work, but I have never once referred to him by that title in 4 years.
Dude, it's been you're right. You haven't. You've been like back to the beginnings of when we started doing this show.
Mm-hmm. Not once. I have never referred to him by that title. For whatever that's worth, it hasn't affected the course of the country that much, but I can proudly say that I have never recognized him as such.
Ben, not my president, Reese. But anyway, just like speaking of just like small profiles and courage or heroism or whatever, it is not easy to tell an entire nation that you are out of step with, someone that powerful. And, granted, a lot of these people are either essentially retired from government work or, maybe we shouldn't give them that much credit because they kind of sat there and, drank the Kool-Aid when it was important. But I don't know. I think it's inspiring to see people be really direct and honest, especially when it's politically disadvantageous,
Yeah. Fucking Mitt Romney went out and marched.
Yeah, how crazy is that shit?
Romney, of all people.
Yeah, right.
Mitt White Bread Romney.
Binders full of women.
Yeah. It's really hard to march.
Binders full of women, Romney.
It's very hard to march when you got to carry all those binders and all
Went
those
out
women.
and took a knee for Black Lives. Believe it or not.
It's really incredible.
It is. It really is.
There's stuff like that happening all over the place. I mean, obviously, it's not a big surprise that Tim Ryan was out here marching in Youngstown.
Sure.
Like that was not totally surprising. It was impressive, but it wasn't like a shock.
Yeah. How about if we're talking about heroes, how about the fucking ordinary men and women going out there? A lot of them, we don't know their names. We don't know, they're not famous. They're not celebrities, but they're going out there and they're fucking.
Yeah. People going into the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because the thing is,
point.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not like a day goes by that I don't see either on Reddit or Twitter or something. I guess it's been a couple of days now as things toned down, but for a few days there, it was like, I lost my eye. I was just standing there. They rubber bulleted my eye and it exploded.
Yeah, the public freakout subreddit has been a wealth of knowledge.
It's been crazy. They actually have several mega threads where they've been documenting every protest they can get their hands on.
Yeah, which is crazy. I'm actually gonna while we're here.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's been really, really surprising because that's kind of like, it's not that it's antithetical to what the subreddit is about, but like public freakout is about enjoying people losing their minds out on the street. You know, the community has completely turned around on this, and you know, you might expect the subreddit to be like snarky and cynical about this stuff, but it's really like the mods are working around the clock to document protests around the world because they think it's important.
Yeah, and they have. I mean, like really, really detailed.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I wish I knew where the mega threads went because they were pinned, but they seem to have since. Maybe they're somewhere off in the sidebar, but they've been busy as hell trying to make sure that the world sees this shit.
Yeah.
Oh, there's actually a really great one right now. It's like the fourth most popular one right now. It's called "An Attempt to Stop a Feminist LGBT Rally,"
I see
and a guy trying to tear a poster in half, and he can't do it.
Oh, I'm watching it. Oh my god,
it's so
This
good.
dude- really? He's bending it. It's back and forth.
He just can't. He's like trying to use his knee, and he just can't do it. Oh, yeah.
What
Good
a
job,
dumbass.
you fucking asshole.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that video that was going around for a while of the dude? It was like an Antifa rally, and it's this person with a fucking like it's this person on the wrong side, you know, the anti-Antifa side.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, the anti-Antifa.
And she's filming this dude.
Antifa's pretzels.
Try them now in vanilla, and vanilla.
No, but she's filming this guy, and he just like gives this smirk to the camera and does like a little roundhouse kick and ends up kicking her fucking phone clean out of her hand. It's so fucking. I gotta see if I can find it. But,
that's amazing.
Yeah, God, this is definitely different though, right? Like this
It
is
feels different. It definitely feels
this is
different.
nowhere near what like this is far beyond what Ferguson was. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, it is for a number of reasons, and not the least of which is that people in nations around the world are marching, you know, in solidarity with Black Americans, which I don't think ever happened to the scale. I mean, if you've seen like the videos of like, you know, French streets packed with, you know, thousands.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. The New York Times ran an article today. It's funny you ask this, which is basically saying, you know, that this is the turning point, and they, you know, of course, it's you're reluctant to say this every time, but the measurables say this is different.
Yeah.
I found the video. It's the woman doing the recording is pro-life. It's a rally for women's reproductive rights.
Send it. Let's watch it and not let the audience hear this.
Oh yeah, great.
Yeah.
You silly? I'm still gonna send it.
I'm gonna fucking send it.
There we are. All right, Canadian man assaults pro-life. I cut off. Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's see.
Assault is maybe the wrong word for it.
Pro-life.
I don't think any charges were given to this guy. It's 58 seconds.
Okay, so I've skipped a little bit ahead.
Nice kick.
I'm not listening to what he's saying, but I'm assuming he's saying some bigoted shit.
Yeah, he's pro-choice. Like this is a women's reproductive rights rally.
Wait, what? Oh shit! Wait, what?
Yeah, the guy in the video is on the right side.
Yeah, right.
The woman with the camera is on the wrong side.
In case you couldn't tell by how he looked, he's definitely liberal.
Why did he kick a woman who's filming him? Fuck this guy.
Well, according to him, he didn't mean to make contact. He just wanted to do a little spin kick without actually contacting her, but it just happened to kick the phone right out of her hand.
Yeah, I that's funny, but I'm not on this guy's side. That shit is expensive.
Yeah, but fuck her.
Yeah, but fuck her. Right. You. I don't know, man. I don't know. Fuck that.
Oh,
fuck that lady.
Speaking of heroes, how about George Carlin?
Oh, George Carlin was always a hero.
Yeah.
In his own words, you ever notice how women who are pro-life are women you wouldn't want to fuck in the first place?
He said people. What he said was, you ever notice the people who are against abortion are the people you wouldn't want to fuck in the first place. That's how he opened. That's how he opened a comedy special.
Yeah.
He came out
with that line.
He came out and told the crowd to shut up, and then he opened with that line.
God, what if that's fearless as a comedian goes? I mean, that's how you know you've made it. Where you don't even have to question whether that will get your audience on your side to tell them to shut up.
Yeah. Carlin was like a philosopher more than a comedian.
Yeah, and getting back on like the angry atheist thing, like how many fucking neckbeards have you seen online who think they're the next George Carlin just because they're edgy and don't understand why George Carlin was funny? You know?
Yeah. No, it's like comedy is such an inscrutable craft.
Yeah.
Right. Like understanding why it works, what you can get away with, and like how to get away with it.
That's the big thing, how to get away with it.
Yeah, like you have to earn an audience. You have to do it basically every night, and you come with some collateral, but like you're still working them. It's like dough or something where you have to like develop it, and it's in its natural form. It can only be like so good until it's like primed. Like comedy is such a craft. And it's not just writing, and it's not just, speaking well. It's like reading the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, George Carlin, fucking hero to comedy, man.
Yeah. I was talking with Matt Craig about George Carlin recently.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just interesting because we were like comparing and contrasting him with Bill Hicks.
As you do.
Yeah, right. I was going to say that's pretty...
Yeah, I mean, like it's those two. I mean, they lend themselves to that, but it's like the thing that we were talking about that's just very interesting is like, I do think Carlin at his core, especially at the end, was pretty cynical. I don't think that's controversial.
Yeah, he definitely was.
And while Bill Hicks could be seen that way, I don't think he was a cynic at all. I think, at like the heart of him, he Bill Hicks, he'd laugh at the world and, kind of give the world the finger, but like he believed in humanity. It became increasingly obvious as time went on, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
for sure.
Not that that's necessarily relevant to what we're talking about. But...
Yeah, no, sorry. I was we've jumped all over the place here.
Yeah.
But
yeah, which is kind of what this podcast is all about.
Yeah, I'd say that's sort of what we do.
Welcome to the podcast, guys.
You guys feel like taking a break? I mean, we haven't barely covered all of it that we could talk about, but it, we're like right around an hour flat. So
yeah, fuck it, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, fuck it.
Fuck it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Fuck it.
So yeah, we'll take a break here and then we'll come back. Did you guys take any notes? I took some notes.
Oh shit, I haven't been.
Yeah, I took some notes.
You better start racking your brain, boy.
I will.
But yeah, we'll take a break. We'll come back in a minute with our recommendations and of course what we learned, if we learned anything at all. Stick around.
Bye.
Nice. We're back.
Oh god.
Oh no. Hey, what's the runtime on Star Wars Episode 9? Do you know?
I don't know. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
It's not, hold on.
I'll look
it's
it
not
up.
that long. It's not that long.
Walker runtime is 2 hours 22 minutes.
Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to squeeze this in tonight. That's okay.
I'm going to do a rewatch tonight. I think for Dan's sake.
When are
Although
you?
I did
When are you guys doing the next one?
tomorrow morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Yeah, you should probably watch it tonight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just watched it, so it's pretty, unfortunately fresh in my head.
Oh,
But
I hate that I'm not going to probably love this based on what I'm hearing.
you're not. Well, I mean, I'm just guessing, but I don't think you will. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, also, everybody, check out Sequelize This. You can listen to it on Spotify and on Google Podcasts.
That is a shared recommendation. I recommend it as well.
You should check it out. It's Dan and I's new podcast where we bitch about Star Wars.
No, it's the podcast where you talk about The Godfather Part 2 eventually.
Yeah, I mean, eventually.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
That's the crown jewel of the podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we're back. I have a piece of pizza in front of me, and I'm a happy boy. Do we want to talk about recommendations?
Have we anything?
I do have one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I was given a Steam gift card by my brother, who we share a birthday, and so we exchange gifts because it makes complete and total sense.
Yeah, when it's on the same day, it feels a little silly, I guess.
It's a zero-sum gift exchange, yeah. But but no, he got me a Steam gift card, and part of that gift card went into buying for $20, which is I feel is well worth it because it supports a team of peer fans. This is a labor of love that has been in development for many, many years. The Valve endorsed remake of Half-Life 1 Black Mesa.
Oh,
yes.
Sweet.
Not all that long ago, maybe just as little as a month ago, version 1.0 was finally released. And I have been playing it, and it's awesome in every way.
Is it that good?
It's that good. The soundtrack is completely original. The voice lines are completely original. Several of the maps have been redesigned. Remember that fucking tram part in the first game where you're on the tram and you redirect the... Guess what? You don't have to redirect the fucking tracks anymore. A lot of the frustrating parts of Half-Life 1 have been redone so that they are they flow better,
Yeah, right.
If that makes sense.
Excellent.
This really is, it's just a labor of love that these people did just because they're huge fans of Half-Life. And the part that took them the longest was Zen. That's a big reason why it didn't release sooner.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been playing it, and dude, they went balls to the wall with this.
Yeah,
this thing. It's not just like a slap together, like all the the textures, the assets are so crisp and so...
Yeah, I'm looking at some screenshots here.
Me too. I'm like oogling it.
Yeah, again, all the voice lines are redone. They change up one or two things to bring it into line with the plot of Half-Life 2. So you'll run into, Dr. Kleiner and Eli Vance. Yeah, they put a lot of time and effort into this, and it really, really shows.
So it's a remake. It's third party. How do they get the right to do this?
I don't know. Valve completely endorses it. It's on Steam,
Yeah, right. Obviously,
they've been working on this for many, many, many years, and Valve has given them their full support and everything,
which is great.
It is great.
Yeah, Valve has always been perfectly fine with people, modding their games. That's one of the reasons for Half-Life's successes is how open-ended and moddable it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, so it's all, of course, done in source. The weapons pretty much feel the same, but with their sound effects and the punch that you can really feel now. and of course how gorgeous they look. It really feels like playing it again for the first time, and it's great.
Yeah, it looks incredible. I mean, just like,
so I fully recommend supporting these guys, spending $20 on this fan made labor of love, this remake of the original Half-Life, and fucking enjoying the hell out of it.
yeah, dude.
It's a
I love
tribute
that
to one of the biggest pieces of PC gaming history of all time.
I really like that the company is named Crowbar Collective. It's such a perfect nod to like that iconic crowbar.
Yeah, man.
They have a large team.
Yeah, dude. That team easily fills up the tram sequence at the beginning of the game, the beginning of the game credits. Easily fills up all that time. I will say too, like the progression at which you get weapons and everything is very different from what it was in the first Half-Life. So you will spend some time early game getting very familiar with your crowbar.
Sweet.
A lot more than you did in the original Half-Life, to be honest.
Yeah, that did go kind of fast, didn't it?
Yeah, it makes up for it by putting in flares that you can pick up and throw at the zombies, and it'll set them on fire. You have a Barney with you, assuming you keep him alive. So you can, he'll lay down fire, and you can run up and chuck this lit flare at the zombies to light them on fire. So you're not totally relying on the crowbar for those early stages, but you do rely on the crowbar a lot longer than you did in the original game.
I think that's cool. Like taking a game like Half-Life, which is like at the time it was released, a perfect game, right?
Yeah.
But as game conventions moved in a certain direction, there are like friction points, of game design that developers kind of like eased and changed up, and like what was considered a tedious thing back then, or now what's now tedious was not so tedious then. Like,
yeah,
I like that they gave it the treatment of making it like really lovable for the modern player.
It does a fantastic job of that. And again, I highly recommend for $20, you can't go wrong. If you got $20 lying around, burning a hole in your wallet, give it a go.
I got that COVID support money, buddy. So you better believe I got money burning a hole in my wallet.
God, this seems like a great spend for $20 though.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, it's worth it. Support those developers, man. They worked really fucking hard on this
for a long time, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they've been working on this forever.
Trying to reproduce what some of the things the original team did, they said was not easy, but by God, they did it.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
I have two that I'm going to talk about briefly, if that's okay with you guys.
No. I'll allow it.
The first one's a movie that you can watch. A movie.
A real movie.
A movie. You can watch it. It was on Amazon Instant Video. I lied. I believe it's also on Netflix right now as well. It's called The Death of Stalin.
I want to see that.
So it is. Yeah, it's I would call it a black comedy. It's pretty it's pretty dark with a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with here. Sure. But it's basically, as the name implies, about the death of Joseph Stalin, as told from the perspective and the surroundings of basically his interior cabinet, of the people who were, responsible for propping him up, all his ministers of power. It has a crazy good all-star cast. Jason Isaacs, Jeffrey Tambor, Steve Buscemi plays Khrushchev in a really, really funny role. And it's basically like the movie opens.
It looked hilarious.
It is like at stages laugh out loud hilarious. It is really funny. the movie opens with Stalin basically at a dinner party with some of his ministers, and he's listening to a radio broadcast of a like an orchestra show that's happening live somewhere. And at the conclusion of the show, after the dinner party, he goes to his room and he calls one of his people, and he asks for a vinyl recording of the show that he just heard. So they send somebody down to the concert hall where the concert had just happened, and people are getting up and getting ready to leave. And as it turns out, they didn't record that. So everybody sits back down, and basically they replay the whole thing and recut it on wax.
Oh my God.
and it's delivered to Stalin later, because they had to redo the whole fucking thing. So it's delivered to Stalin, who promptly puts it on his record player and reads a note written by one of the musicians, which basically says, "Fuck you, you worthless piece of shit." He chuckles at it and then has a heart attack. Completely passes out in his own filth and dies right there almost dies right there on the floor, and stays there all night because nobody went in to check on him. Everybody, so the movie basically is just this slapsticky kind of cast of idiots. his interior ministry basically, trying to jockey with who's going to take power, which of course we all know Khrushchev does.
Mm-hmm.
But it's them kind of jockeying for position, and all the horrible dark things that go along with the Soviet Union, and you can imagine where things go from there. It is outrageously funny at certain points. Trisha and I both really, really loved it. Hilarious. You should check it out. It's free right now.
I gotta see that.
Second one, also briefly, I'm going to recommend you watch Killer Mike, one half of Run the Jewels. Has a show on Netflix called Trigger Warning with Killer Mike. It's only 6 episodes long right now. It's basically a documentary series about issues that affect the black community in the US, and trying to, he's always been an activist. His family has always had activists in it. So it's basically him trying to raise these issues up to the public eye. And he does this in, I think a part of the main goal of it, aside from being to deliver you a message, is also really funny. There's a really good way to get your message across. So there's parts of the show that are really, really funny. If you're going to start with an episode, I think I recommend the one where he's basically trying to live black for 48 hours.
Oh, that's the first episode.
Is it the first episode? Oh, yeah. So there you go.
We started watching it. That's the very first one. And I forget. It's called Living Black.
Living Black. Yeah. So the whole idea is that, businesses in the white community can keep $1 in other businesses and in the pockets of white people for 21 days. In the Jewish community, it goes up to 26 days. And in the Korean or Asian community, it's almost 30 days. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The black community, it's 6 hours because there's so few.
You don't have enough black-owned businesses to support the you have to have.
So he basically goes out of his way to try and live black for 48 hours before one of his shows, with buying black from black-owned business owners, buying from black only products from black farmers, things like that. Which as he discovers and as you see it through the show is almost fucking impossible because there's such little market for it, like there is with other races in this country. It is. I don't know how.
Koreans are exotic. Is
yeah.
They come from the mysterious Orient.
Yeah.
And so white people fucking.
Who can imagine the great mysteries of the Orient?
Of the Orient. No, what it boils down to is people tend to in particular, minority community, Korean, Jewish, they buy from their own businesses. They have that network.
Yeah, it's possible
Yes.
Yeah.
To specifically spend every dollar at a business owned within your community.
Right.
If you wanted to do that, it's possible in a way that it is not necessarily possible for Black people in America to do the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but Killer Mike basically struggles to eat for 2 days because he can't, And I don't know how far you got, Dave, but there's like a scene where he's at the barbecue with LP, the other half from the Jewels.
Yes.
LP like drops a bomb on him that he wasn't ready for, and he basically has to pack his dinner up to go because he can't eat it.
Yeah, he basically is like, oh yeah, this is yeah, right. We're eating at a Black business. Like, hey, where was that potato grown or whatever?
Yes,
like,
where's that cow raised?
Yeah, and so he's got to ask the business owner, like, please tell me that you know where this came from. And he's like, no, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take that to go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's at times it's super socially conscious. At times it's really really funny. And it's designed to make you think. And I think he does a really good job. I hope he gets picked up for another season because I had a blast watching the first season.
Yeah, like it's on one hand, it's a serious show talking about serious issues. On the other hand, it is entertainment primarily, and so it's like it does a good job of like just put your head in the space, but also you can have a good time. Yeah,
he's not stupid. He knows how to. I think he's a pretty smart, pretty funny guy, and I think he knows how to get his message across.
Oh God, I think the second episode, I'm looking at my watch history so I can remember. The second episode is called "Fuck School."
Yeah,
and opens with one of my favorite sequences that I've seen so far, where he's talking to school children and
the little kids. Yeah,
the way he handles school kids on issues of race is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, really good actually.
Yeah, it's worth a watch for sure.
It is. Yeah, it's a good watch.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, that's just you, homeboy.
Yeah, I don't like anything. I don't care to share anything.
So, what have we learned?
No, yeah, I was actually kind of struggling with what things to recommend. I feel like what I would like to do is the last time Dan was on, I feel like he recommended Space Force.
Woo!
I could be wrong.
Oh, did you see?
I think he did, actually.
The United States military might lose a trademark battle to Netflix over the name Space Force.
Are you kidding?
No. You can't write this shit.
Oh, it's too good. Oh, no, I did not.
You can't write this shit, man.
That's incredible. The thing is, obviously, the show is patterned directly after the real Space Force, but it's amazing they didn't think to, tidy up that IP before they, let that roll into the world.
Yeah.
Dan did not recommend it on the show, incidentally, because it just came out, but he did recommend it to us, as a group.
Right.
Oh, okay. Because I know I've heard him say he liked it. Maybe it wasn't on the show. But let me just say, we've watched several episodes now. I think we've seen half of the season. And Christy and I, read a lot of articles about this show before it came out, because we basically have the same Google feed, so we see the same stories and then end up telling each other and being like, "Yeah, I read that already." A lot of people seemed to be kind of down on the show before it aired. So all the reviewers who had advanced access copies were kind of like, I don't know. It's no The Office, right? I am here to say it is good, and I think it's worth watching. I agree with Dan's assessment of this show. I would say it's a kind of a soft recommendation. I don't know if this show will become incredible or if it will just stay good, but it's good. And I don't understand the people who described it as laughless and joyless, because there were those who did. Yeah, people said that.
Shills of the U.S. government, I would assume.
You have to realize the average television viewer is what scientists call a moron.
Well, the average television critic, maybe even more so.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, these are people who are paid to find flaws in everything and nitpick.
Right, like
And don't have joy in their lives and probably don't get laid often enough.
there are things to enjoy in this show, and it's crazy to me that people dismissed it as totally laughless. Because, like, maybe like, first of all, every show in its first season is finding its feet. Very few shows do not go through some kind of growing pains. Even oddly, like when you watch the first season of Breaking Bad, it's not what Breaking Bad became.
No, not at all. Yeah.
You know, it's like it shows a lot of promise, but it's not. It wasn't epic. Shows and movies and books need time to develop their stories, and I think that this show does a pretty solid job most of the time in trying to establish itself. I haven't seen the whole first season. Like I said, we watched like the first 4 episodes. So we're about halfway through. But it does a fairly good job. I think the one complaint I have is that Steve Carell's character, who is General Mark Naird, is like he's like deliberately gruff. Like he like kind of talks like this all the time, and
like a Patton type.
Yes, exactly. And it's like a caricature that goes a little bit outside even like what his comfortable range is, you know?
Yeah.
So it kind of, it's not perfect. But there's a lot of great stuff in this show. I think one of my favorite things is his rivalry with this guy, the actor's name I can't remember. And actually his character's name is I'm blanking on it, but it's like a obvious like pun or like a dirty joke in a name.
Yeah.
And they're like having like this tense face to face, and Mark Naird doesn't even think of the obvious joke to call him.
Okay.
I wish I could think of what it was. It would be great if I could remember what the fuck his name was. But it's just like he's like a little bit dense in some ways. I don't know. I think it's a good show so far, and the supporting cast is great. Obviously, I fucking love John Malkovich in.
In everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize he was in this.
Oh yeah.
He plays like the senior science advisor. He's basically the head of the science team.
Don't shoot! I'm with the science team.
Yeah, honestly, he's like basically a slightly softer version of that. There's so Lisa Kudrow plays his wife, who pretty hilariously very early on in the season she's in prison and we don't know why.
Okay.
And she clearly has a bunkmate and there's stuff going on.
Okay.
And that's all like revealed very, very early. Like Mark Naird is alone. He's like a single dad.
Yeah.
He's like running Space Force, which is a position no one wanted and everyone makes fun of him for. The only person he's allowed to like make fun of essentially is the Coast Guard. Like the chief of the Coast Guard or whatever. So like he's like kind of like a natural, like we want to root for him, even though he's kind of gruff and all that. He's like trying to like be a dad and be a boss and like has this shitty job and all that. And I don't know. I don't want to say too much more about it, but it's finding its footing. I haven't seen the whole season. I would not describe it as joyless or laughless. I think that reviews like that are completely unfair. And you should watch at least the pilot and decide if you care about it.
All right.
So that's that.
Just that.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give it a shot at the very
That's
least.
that.
Yeah, give it episode 1. If you hate it at the end of episode 1, like really hate it, you won't probably like any of it.
I very rarely hate anything right out of the gate.
Yeah. I mean, it might never become great, but it is good, and I just feel like it deserves a little bit of defense,
Sure.
Yeah.
Defense. Oh, don't say that because you're just gonna fucking make me sad.
Make you miss sports more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hockey's coming back eventually.
Yeah, eventually, like in August maybe.
It was next month.
No, it's not next month.
Oh,
We were on the break here. We were just talking about it.
yeah.
It would be as early as the end of next month if they decided to start it.
Boo.
Right, which doesn't
Yeah.
make any fucking sense, right?
No, not at all. But whatever.
You know, I heard someone saying that the NHL is seriously considering moving its entire season into this part of the year because of there being less competition, essentially, with other leagues,
Yeah.
like other sports. They might actually move the entirety of the NHL schedule into a less competitive window.
Yeah.
What, the middle of the fucking summer?
I mean, dude, I
Are
don't
you
know.
fucking kidding me?
Just,
Yeah.
I don't know. They're planning on moving it because there's less to compete with.
I'd be okay even if they bumped it up a little earlier, like if they started in like the preseason started in August instead of September.
Yeah.
That
But
makes sense to me.
It's a little baffling to imagine an ice sport being played specifically in summer just because the NFL isn't doing shit.
Yeah.
Can't just fucking abolish like the Winter Classic. What the fuck are you? You can't play the Winter Classic in October. Are you fucking stupid?
I don't know, dude. That's just what I read. They're seriously considering it because of just straight up profit. Like, you know, there's you know split the sports wallet if football in America is down.
How about we just light Gary Bettman on fire, and that'll solve a lot of problems at once.
Yeah, that's an option. All right, let's just wrap this up, boys. Did we learn something? I learned 4 things.
Yeah, me too. I learned God is very inefficient with his horsemen.
You gotta budget your horsemen better. You gotta learn to delegate tasks to horsemen of similar responsibilities.
I learned that French Stewart is out there squinting into the sun somewhere.
Yes, I wrote that too. Wherever French Stewart is, he's probably squinting.
I learned that you shouldn't lie to get laid unless you're really horny.
I wrote here, Ben's teacher taught me that it's okay to be ahead of the curve on social issues.
Yeah, dude.
Ben's
teacher
gave us the opportunity to read the entire history of Japan.
Yes,
from Bill Wirtz.
Yes, and that like Ben's entire history of Japan went on to become the movie The Great Wall, starring Matt Damon.
Oh my god!
Wow!
Yeah. Famous Japanese actor Matt Damon.
Famous Japanese actor Tom Cruise.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I learned that Auntie Antifa's pretzels come in vanilla, 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 and vanilla.
Excellent. Yeah, I wrote that too.
Take the whitest snack food ever to be invented, the pretzel,
Fair.
and somehow make it whiter.
Yeah, drizzling it in white chocolate. Is that all we learned?
Actually,
I think that's all we learned.
Great.
It does sound fucking great.
Yeah, dude, we're joking here. I would eat a pretzel covered in so many things right now.
Absolutely.
I don't care if it is the whitest pretzel on earth.
White chocolate, normal chocolate, doesn't fucking matter.
Is that all we learned? I think that's all we learned.
Yeah, I neglected
matters.
to take notes, and I apologize, but
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
it's all right. Whatever. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah,
No
that
one
doesn't
listens
matter.
to this bullshit anyway.
All
Yeah,
right.
sorry we've been missing for so long, guys. We're gonna try and be back a little bit more.
That's mostly on me this time. It might be on us collectively, but it's on me this time. So
You fucking piece of shit.
stupid asshole,
Christ.
dick.
It's all right.
Yeah, we'll try to do this more regularly. I want to try and keep to the every 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's a good idea. At least.
Yeah, it's like a good pace for us, especially right now.
Normalcy.
Yeah, well, like it's good for normalcy. B, nothing happens anymore, so we need like 2 weeks
Right.
Yeah.
to recharge.
Speaking of nothing happening, I have a suggestion for something that could happen if you guys want to go golfing sometime.
Anytime
Yeah.
you want, buddy. Anytime you want.
I'm obviously very bad at this, but I kind of want to hit up the par 3. It's like a manageable.
Sure holes, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anytime you want.
Yeah,
Anytime
let's
you
do
guys
it.
want.
It's easy to social distance. It's easy to do everything there.
Yeah, I mean, it just it seems like an appropriate challenge for me. So
Yeah, anytime you guys want.
Hell yeah. Let's talk after the show. But
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, let's wrap this bad boy up. Thanks, guys. This is nice. Thanks, people, for listening. We will presumably be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, presumably.
Yeah. So, thanks again. See you next time. Have a good 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
A river
Bye.
Derchi.
Oh, wow.
The River Derchi.